Hello everyone, I'm the casting Hydralist VP Nursky coming to you with Game 2 of this matchup from the IPL Season 2 qualifiers. In case you guys did not see Game 1 of this series, I suggest you go back and watch that first, because there will be spoilers, I can guarantee you that. First off, introducing the green Protoss spawning over here in the 3 o'clock position is going to be the loser of the first match, Grubby, and his opponent over here spawning to the north as the yellow Terran. It's going to be the winner of our first matchup, BratOK. This is going to be on the map Terminus Ray. It is important to note that this version of Terminus Ray does have both a choke to the front of your natural and a choke into your third. So this choke kind of leads a little bit towards both bases. No second pathway to your third though on this version of the map, so that is important to take note of. You do have Grubby over here getting his base underway. First pylon is down. Do have the first barracks just now going down on 12 for BratOK. It's pretty standard stuff so far in this matchup. 13 gateway going down for Grubby. Neither taking gas just yet, nor would they be typically. Do have the first scouting probe going out here for Grubby. Wants to try and scout BratOK as soon as possible, just like the first matchup. Wants to get there before the first Marine does pop out, if at all possible. Taking his first assimilator will be Grubby. BratOK, meanwhile, not actually taking any kind of gas just yet, so maybe going for a fast expand is Grubby. We'll just have to wait and see what he decides to do. That first barracks is almost completed. Back in the base of Grubby, we do have that first gateway just about to finish up. Undoubtedly will probably be putting his first cybernetics core down very shortly. Is indeed going to be putting that down. Orbital command on the way for BratOK at this time. First scouting probe is going to be making it to the base of BratOK just as the first Marine pops out. So it will be interesting to see if Grubby can actually get this into the base of BratOK. BratOK's going to be shooting at this probe. Probe's going to try and do some juking and jiving, but is going to be forced to back up by BratOK. Do have that first scouting SCV on the way for BratOK. We'll be getting to Grubby space in just a little bit. We'll actually probably beat the first Stalker out though, so probably we'll get some decent information. Will BratOK. Do have BratOK taking a 1-rax into expand. So going for the heavy economic build will be BratOK in the early stages of this game. Do have that first scouting SCV getting into the base of Grubby. Grubby going to be using his Zealot and actually picks off the scouting SCV. A little bit of mismanagement there by BratOK. Could have kept that alive quite a bit longer. Do have the cybernetic core now getting chrono boosted. Second gateway on the way for Grubby. Is getting out a sentry first, so likely going to be doing some kind of an expansion play. Do have a forward pylon though being put down for Grubby, so maybe thinking of being aggressive, but we'll have to wait and see what does indeed happen. 2 more barracks is on the way now for BratOK. Still has not taken any gas just yet. That expansion command center is just about up. Also have a bunker going up for BratOK. Grubby in the meantime still has those 2 gateways. Does have those sentries rallying forward to his forward zealot, so maybe looking to do a poke at the forces of BratOK early on. We'll just have to wait and see what he does decide to do. We'll be taking control of those Xenolic counters early in the game. Do have that second command center now finished up, turning it straight into an orbital command. And now interestingly enough, Grubby is going to be proxying 2 gateways. So Grubby is actually going to be 4-gating BratOK, but is proxying 2 of the gateways, so BratOK cannot scout this coming. BratOK is going to have no idea that this is coming. If we do look at the vision of BratOK, we do see that he has no idea that these are up here. But they will be finishing very shortly here, already about over 75% done. Is even putting down a Nexus, but is likely, I would think, going to cancel that once these gateways finish up. Is leaving it up for now, so it's going to be interesting to see what Grubby does decide to do. That scouting SCV is moving forward, is going to be moving over here by the forces of Grubby. And BratOK's SCV does indeed go down, and here comes the forces of Grubby. Grubby does cancel that Nexus, so he is planning on 4-gating. Does have a forward pylon over here. BratOK now, interestingly enough, moving forward, does think he has the advantage. Thinks that Grubby did a 2-gate into expand. Wants to try and get aggressive with Grubby, but Grubby is actually going to be foregating him. Braddock just now sees the forces of Grubby. He's going to push forward, try and pick off some of these sentries if he can, even pick off the zealots. We do have Grubby now condensing his forces over here. Braddock will be moving forward now. It looks like Braddock is actually thinking of going for the base of Grubby. Grubby with a little bit of indecision, goes back and forth. Is going to actually turn around, decide he wants to try and defend against these Marines. This is not actually looking very good for Grubby, as we do have Grubby backing up as Braddock just storms forward with these Marines. Storming forward like a bunch of stormtroopers out of Star Wars. 2 by 2 they go marching into the base of Grubby. Grubby's going to have no forces actually waiting here for these Marines. Marines are going to go straight into the base, immediately shooting down the pylons. Wants to try and unpower these gateways as soon as possible. Unpowers the first gateway, now running over here to try and pick off yet another pylon. And now Grubby actually turning around once again and deciding to assault the front of Braddock. But Braddock getting out some more Marines. Braddock now running roughshod through the base of Grubby. Grubby has been forced to pull all of his probes over into the corner. Meanwhile, over by the base of Braddock, we do have Grubby marching forward, trying to pick off this base. Force fields going down on the ramp of Braddock. Grubby wants to make sure he can actually take out this front. Grubby with 4 zealots actually just chasing this one SCV. Not really sure what Grubby's going to do from this position. Grubby now actually turning around for a moment. I'm not sure what you are doing, Grubby. Grubby, make a decision. All this indecision, back and forth he's going. Now he's going to be backing up. And meanwhile, in his base, he has lost his first Nexus. Now taking a Nexus at what would be his third. As these guys don't actually end up base trading. Instead, we do have Braddock with the advantage. Is now going to even be knocking down these gateways. Grubby backing up to return to his front. But Braddock actually with a little bit of a lead right here. 55 supply to the 53 of Grubby. But Braddock also has his main base still, whereas Grubby has absolutely nothing at this point in time. Is going to be backing up to try and get up this Nexus. Wants to make sure he can defend it from these Marines. Here comes the Marines of Braddock. Does force field them in so that they cannot retreat. Is going to easily mow through these Marines. Only a couple more Marines remain. These Zealots should easily take these Marines out. There's nowhere for them to really run to. Marines are now cleaned up, and now Grubby is going to be pushing back forward once again. Do have several pylons down in front of the base of Braddock. Braddock even has a new command center built to be placed at his natural. Bunch of Marines. Couple of Hellions out for Braddock. Braddock's going to be trying to shoot down this forward pylon of Grubby. If we do look in the base of Braddock, we do see 3 barracks, 1 factory, and a starport all in the front of his base. 57 supply to just the 42 of Grubby now. That indecision by Grubby turning out to be a huge mistake, as Grubby really didn't commit to the foregate. Wasn't sure if he wanted to defend or attack, and anytime you're indecisive in a game like Starcraft 2, it will only cost you. Grubby now moving forward, wants to try and do some damage. It's going to be force fielding off some of the Marines of Braddock, but those Marines can shoot over and hit the Zealots. Not sure if that was the best choice by Grubby. Throwing down some force fields now, even on top of his own units, boxing them in, and Grubby is going to be forced to GG out, and Braddock will take this series 0-2. Grubby twice in this series, surprisingly enough, with some indecisive play, and it cost him both games. In the first game with the Colossus, didn't quite commit them to the battle, ended up just losing them for nothing, and in the second game now, did a very sneaky foregate, but didn't really commit to it. Started to go forward, saw the Marines, didn't really attack the Marines, was going to attack the base, then changed his mind and tried to back up to defend, then realized he couldn't get back to defend in time, and then once again tried to move forward to do damage. All that indecision back and forth, whereas Braddock just committed to one thing both games, and his decision making and commitment to it ended up winning him both of these games very soundly, as Braddock ends up advancing in the IPL Season 2 qualifiers, and Grubby will just have to try again in the next qualifier. So this is going to be VP Nerski signing off for now, guys. Please subscribe to my YouTube. I always appreciate everybody subscribing, running contests and stuff as well for my subscribers. And I will see you guys at the next cast.